The young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a Joe like Chappelle show. This so perennial. Do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. I just had to let you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, yeah. Okay. 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay. I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay. All my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay. So when I die, I ain't gonna be from old age. Somebody gonna want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros. Left pocket got pound. Somebody gonna want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown. Step back, let me get some room. Congrats every time I'm through. Same packet, nobody knew, so I never get confused. Hotel get a bird's eye view. Hotel got a waiting room. Read a magazine while you wait for me, baby. I'll be done so soon. Phone gotta be off. Each store got locks. I got some trusted shoes. Okay. 10K on the countertop. Don't look so shocked. It's nothing new. Okay. Death comes in threes. Wins come in twos. Cash comes in ones. Throw it up, celebrate some news. Hey. I do a good job, pull up and pop out and pull out. Hat on and hood on, pedal to metal. When I put my foot on, I got to put on. I got a bad one, they wanna keep me. Oh, that's a good one. Pockets are dense, I think my bread is hard as a crouton. Receipts in my pocket don't come with a coupon. Yeah. Okay, 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay, I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay, all my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay, so when I die, I ain't gonna be from old age. Somebody gonna want revenge, somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros, left pocket got pound. Somebody gonna want revenge, somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand. Vegetables, now half the meals got tentacles. Half the Emirates need a reservation and half my money goes straight to taxes. But I don't trip about it, that's what happens when you got dreams closer than a matching. Plus all your boys got expensive habits. Go. I know what they're thinking, they don't even gotta say it. No, they ain't thinking they just made it. I know how to make everybody feel famous. I don't gotta work no day shift. I don't gotta split no payment. I don't gotta answer questions. And I don't need you to okay it. Yeah. Okay. 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay. I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay. All my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay. So when I die, I ain't gonna be from old age. Somebody gonna want revenge, somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros, left pocket got pound. Somebody gonna want revenge, somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown.
They can't take it to 10.
Hey.
Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Are you ready? Get ready, dog.
Coach, thanks. As mentioned, we are on the North Shore of Pittsburgh. It's sold out Heinz Field in the Steel City. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Pittsburgh Steelers. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Here's the tap. 19. So don't say nothing.
The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. Ooh, the juke. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber who runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Watson now to throw. Oh, he's trying for Smith-Schuster, but it's intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey. Well, certainly not how he wanted to start his night. First throw of the game, an INT.
Yeah, it's not easy, but he's got to try and wipe that one away from the memory banks. And let's face it, it's not often a quarterback and a defensive back have a lot in common. But one thing, because they have these individual type plays, they've got to have short memories, don't they? DB gets beat, wipe it away, quarterback throws a pick, has to do the same thing.
A running play on first down, and it turns into a fight just to get back to the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom, quick, and what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
To throw on 2nd down, Overton. And that is incomplete.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
He's going to let it go deep for the end zone. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now, give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
But that was certainly an aggressive call and an aggressive play. Instead of just going for the first down, took the shot in the end zone, went for the touchdown.
Yeah, and on 3rd down, they said, forget about the sticks. We want 6. In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as you're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away. But they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. A shotgun snap for Watson. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 20. And they will score. It's a Jacksonville touchdown. Short throw, pick 6 right there. Those linebackers, they love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
Lutz good on the extra point, and the lead grows to 10-0. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis.
Well, we saw them there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Watch the run. Watch the run. Watch the run.
Out of the gun, Watson. And he fires one incomplete. By the way, I got to apologize because I just realized for about the last 4 or 5 plays, I'm eking over into your territory up here in the booth. My bad. I'm going to get back over to my spot.
Yeah, we're not talking about our on-air commentary. I mean, what is all this extra paper? I mean, this is unusual for you.
My bad.
Normally you run a really tight ship. What's going on here?
Just like that incomplete pass, I'm going to try to tighten things up here for this next play.
Pick that. 31. Mike 50, Mike 50.
Throwing on third down, Watson. Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. And their inaugural sack of the game coming from an unlikely source.
You mean it wasn't a linebacker? Wasn't a defensive end?
It was somebody like you.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, that's a surprise for the offense. That's not what they normally get when they think about pressure.
On fourth down, on is Logan Cook to punt. Back deep, Tariq Cohen. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. So out of bounds on the punt, and the spot will be, the side judge says, right at the 35-yard line here. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They're looking sharp, out early to a 10-zip lead and looking for more as they've got it 1st and 10.
Yeah, let's get a sack lunch. Watch the twist. Watch the twist. Watch the edge. Ball. Put it to jet. Put it to jet.
On 1st and 10, Overton taking a deep shot here for Hardman. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Off the play fake. Overton. He's going to float this one deep right side. And this is taken in at the 5. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. A big play there. Hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead. Lutz with the extra point. And that makes our score 17-0. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
Here we go, D. 80 points down, he's coming. Come again.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8. He missed on his first 3 passes. He was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
Now it's Watson. And here's another interception, the 3rd of this first quarter. Picked off at the 40. And he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line. Now, they told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
Switch gears. Check 37. Check 37.
They'll run on 1st down. Jet. He's got the first down here inside the 30. And he'll finally be taken down at the 18. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards. One thing that's great about watching him run, Charles, he doesn't hesitate. He got to the left side of his O-line and just went.
So there's two ways to look at that. One, just absolutely unconcerned, just takes off and goes. But more the latter, I think, which is he has absolute confidence in the guys in front of him.
And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. An 18-yard touchdown grab. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead. Now, first quarter, and this lead is already getting into dangerous territory. They better be careful on the other sideline.
Yeah, it feels a little bit more like a basketball game where one team is pressing and that team can't get the ball over half court. I mean, it is stealing it and scoring it, layups, the whole deal. That's what it feels like right now. They are all over them.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it. Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result, because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
25, check 25, check 25. 24. First down, come on. 24. That's it. 48 mark, 48 out.
Throwing again is Watson. Going top shelf for Smith-Schuster. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Juju Smith-Schuster with his 16th touchdown of the year, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Point after, right down the middle. And that'll make it 24-7. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They have to be pleased with the way that they've moved the football thus far.
And why wouldn't they be? 2 touchdowns on a field goal in their first 3 possessions. They're playing so well right now, the field goal probably feels like a disappointment.
And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things has gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go.
Hey, we got 3 down, 3 down. He's coming. Double up, double up. He's coming.
Back to throw. Overton. They'll find Everett there, complete. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary. Figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
On first down, Overton. This one complete to Mecole Hardman. That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards.
Let's go. A gain of 22 yards. And the Jaguar first down.
Let's go now.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10, right at the 40. We are in for a good one as we're through one on EA Sports.
Steelers 7.
I'm here all day. I'm here all day. Yeah, yeah. Come on.
Throwing on first down. Overton. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
2 sacks last week. Another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
A few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. Looking to throw. Overton. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. That one good for 17 as they're set up better now for 3rd down. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
Back to throw. Overton is going to find his running back. It's complete. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And that will push this lead up to 20 now. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
Following the made field goal, Lutz to kick it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2 minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Anytime the offense shows what they call a shot play or a chunk play where they're trying to get big yardage, sometimes people just call it gadget plays, and you hold it to a gain that we just saw there, you feel pretty good about yourself as a defense.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Now Joe Mixon. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
1st and 10 at the 36-yard line.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Ricky. Alert flow. Alert. Mike's 50.
From the gun, here's Watson. He's got the first down and more past midfield. And finally brought down right at the midfield stripe. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. A nice pickup for a first down.
10. Kill. Mike's 50. They're going to need some therapy after this.
Another time.
Mixon with a first down carry. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Check pass. Watch safety creeping.
On 2nd and 12, Watson flushed out right. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 36.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a first down with a nice throw.
On 1st and 10, Watson. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10.
Check 43. Check 50.
Alert. Hey, 31. Echo.
To throw is Watson. Going to throw again. And an alley to run. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 19.
Certainly making his presence felt in both the pass and the run game. He's having an impact.
Yeah, his first carry of the game right there. He had hurt him with his arm. Now he's showing that he can shuffle the puppies as well.
Pin the mirrors back and go full strength. Protect. Check 99.
26.
Deuce. Play. Check.
24.
On first down, Mixon.
You ain't going nowhere.
This will be a 5-yard pickup as they move it from the 20 to the 15.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down, and as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter.
Mike 50. Bring it. 55.
Watson going to pull back the handoff and keep it himself. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. A 15-yard touchdown grab. And the Steelers are able to close the gap just a bit.
As they began this last drive, things weren't exactly looking up for this offense. But after what they just did, putting the ball in the end zone, that took them away from the brink of possibly being knocked out of this game.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that cuts this lead down to 13. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL.
Right there.
On second down, Jet, and he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down. That result, really no surprise. It's what we're coming accustomed to with this #1 ranked rush defense.
And you study the game. Is this bringing back a few memories? Maybe the 85 Bears trying to move the ball against them, 2000 Ravens. Heck, how about the late 60s, early 70s Purple People Eaters, the Minnesota Vikings? Hard to move the ball against those types of teams.
Let's go. 18 data. Check. 154. Get this work on. Alert 3. Big ass. Let's go.
On third down, Jet, and he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. To punt on fourth down, here's Rigoberto Sanchez. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. This will be fielded at the 17. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You could never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
From the 50, it's Watson. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. A gain of 10, good for a Steeler first down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
Open man completes it to Smith-Schuster. The Steelers signal for the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. Watson now 11 of 17 passing thus far. He's got his guys a 1st and 10. Here's Watson. And this is caught at the 8. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Watson, flush to his right. He'll run it, and the Steelers are in for the touchdown. Well, this could be a big turnaround. They get the touchdown here in the final moments of the second quarter, and remember, Charles, they're going to get the ball to start quarter number 3 as well.
So what you're saying is, if they take the ball down to start the second half and score again, it could change the entire complexion of this game, couldn't it?
Absolutely. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead will shrink to 6. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away.
The Jaguars take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. They lose the yardage, and, of course, they also lose the down on the grounding call, and it's quickly 2nd and long. Not wanting to take a chance this time, they'll keep it on the ground. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we'll send you down to Orlando and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the Jaguars in possession of the lead, and they will get the football as we are underway in this second half. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
Check. Fresno.
2nd and 6. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down. T.J. Watt racking up sack number 12 for him on the year. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
He's crazy. He's checking crazy.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Overton, he's going to look deep down the field. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Partner, the way this offense has marched up and down the field during this game, it's almost a surprise to see an incomplete pass on 3rd down, isn't it?
Yeah, they have had their foot on the gas all game long, but here finally stalling out. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They trail offense first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Mike's 50. All day, every day, any day. Check. He's checking.
At 24.
To throw is Watson. Escaping the pressure right. He's going to take off with it. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
Set. 19.
65. Motion. Mike's 50.
On 3rd down, Mixon. That one 28 yards on the ground.
Well, partner, that's one of the problems when you sell out to stop the run on 3rd and short. Sometimes you break the initial wall and you go a long way.
So how do you prevent it?
That's tough to do. That really is tough to do. And one of the things offenses like to do nowadays in practice, they do a lot of working against equal numbers. They'll start putting more and more numbers on defense and just telling the offensive guys, figure it out. Learn how to block it. We may see this situation.
Watson just beating the play clock. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. Back-to-back plays of right around 30 yards, and the field position has totally been flipped. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Here's a run with Mixon. And he's in. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Joe Mixon with touchdown number 8 on the year, as his guys can now take the lead with the extra point. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
We own them. Shift.
From the gun, Overton taking a deep shot here for Hardman. He rifles one that's intercepted. It's Devin Bush, the linebacker, who picks it. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. Nicole Hardman, the intended target.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And they had the touchdown during the last drive, and I'm guessing that you like the balance they had on that last drive.
And I loved it. Forget liking it. Absolutely love what they were doing, because to be ahead of the defense that much, where every play call you have, run or pass, is working pretty well for you.
Makes you look like a genius.
It really does. It also lets you know that your preparation was pretty good, and now the defense has to do all the adjusting.
Set. Night, sweetheart.
On 2nd down, here's Mixon. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Check 6 guys. Hey, Mike's 50. Hey, let's get that ball, D. Let's get that ball.
Watson going to pull back the handoff and keep it himself. Throw left side, complete to Smith-Schuster. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Army. You go tight. Get too far. You got tight right there. Watch out. Line him up.
From the 39, Watson. And a quick throw here, that's complete. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go, because he might wander into some tough coverage.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Out of the shotgun. They run with Mixon. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 12 yards that time, and a Pittsburgh first.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front seven, reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
Back to Mixon on first down. And able to work his way down to the 16. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3.
Hey, keep it up. Keep it up. Wide. Hey, 31.
Here's Watson. Eluding the pressure right. Deshaun Watson, so multi-dimensional, able to scramble for the first.
That's another Steelers first down. First and goal at the 6-yard line.
One quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So first and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up.
Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Shift. Switch. 54. 59. Hayward. Watch the run.
They'll try the air now with Watson. And fights him off. And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags. And I believe this is going to be a first down. Boy, a tight game like this, fourth quarter, personal foul penalties, a no-no.
Yeah, we know the emotions are running high. The tensions are the same. Who can control them best could ultimately win it.
So now then, the penalties got him set up with a first and goal.
Check nine.
After the penalty, it's Mixon. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. From 8 yards out. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his second touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Point after, up and good. And that will ensure that it will take a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to tie it. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line.
The Jaguars take over first and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Check 3, check 3. Check 13, check 13.
2nd and 11. Taking a deep shot here for Hardman. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. There he goes left side. Touchdown, Jaguars. Mecole Hardman, 81 yards. As they now sit just a 2-point conversion away from tying this game up in the 4th quarter. So here we go now as the Jaguars will go for 2.
It's a party now. Go. That's me. Hey, mine's 54. Mine's 54.
They'll try and run it in. And he gets halfway there down to the 1-yard line. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Watson on first down. Flushed out right. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise. Because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
Slam. SOS. 26. Check. 59.
Back to the air, Watson on second down. Forced out to his, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Sacked by the outside backer, Telvin Smith.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
Gonna need something special here on 3rd and long. After that sack, what does Watson have in his arsenal? Here's Watson. From the gun, he'll throw. He may try and run for this. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run. That is an absolute backbreaker. That was a design passing play, wasn't a draw. You think you got him stopped, good coverage downfield, and he's able to pick up the first with his legs. Defensively, that kicks into your psyche and hurts a little bit, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and here's the thing. Anytime you give up a first down, it hurts you psychologically, but it hurts more when they get it this way because you've covered everything. He didn't have any place to throw the football. He takes off running and picks it up anyway, and now you have to stay on the field for an extra set of downs.
And really could have used that stop trailing here. And this will be caught at the 30. It's a gain of 35. The offense just continues to reign supreme. Big plays, both sides, back and forth. Tough to keep track of.
It certainly is, and I'm over here just marveling at what I'm seeing. It's tough for you, though. You've got to call all these big plays and have all this emotion each time they go at each other.
So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Back to throw, Watson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Telvin Smith Credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6.
Brandon, more often than not, you'd say they've had his number, and we can count them up so far. 1, 2, 3, 4 sacks given up. But guess what? He's still been able to make some plays, and right now they have a lead.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs, and they come up on 2nd down. Now Watson. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Finding his way home for the sack that time, Taven Bryan.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Going to need something special here on 3rd and long. After that sack, what does Watson have in his arsenal? Watson operating from the gun. Quick hitter here, it's complete. It's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. It's 4th down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
And that'll be off the crossbar and out. It's short. He couldn't get it there. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. So points so crucial in a tight game like this, but this kick off the goalpost, and that'll keep the score right where it is.
Yeah, it wouldn't have made this a 2-score game, but any cushion this late definitely would have helped. Now they need to ask their defense for another stop, and that's going to require some work.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. On 1st and 10, Overton looking for his running back, and he's got it. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a 1st down.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield, a really nice pickup.
This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Overton. Now they go screen. It's complete. They'll get 4 there out of the screen, and it's 2nd down.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner, everything has to fit together just right. But on that play, the defense was able to disrupt things and hold it to a short gain.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. 2 minutes remain, and that's our score differential as well. 2 points here in the 4th quarter. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. They come up on a 2nd down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down the wire. Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. A 14-yard 1st down pickup for the Jaguars. Well, we had a number of good games in the afternoon sessions, but this Sunday nighter might top them all. So we come up here on 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop, 1:50 left in the football game. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. They'll keep it on the ground. Jet. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. Now the Steelers use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Check 26, check 26. Explain.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means fourth down. It's a 6-yard pickup. It's still a few chain links short, it appears, with fourth down coming up. So on fourth down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. Now the Steelers going to use their third and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So on fourth down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here.
A 31-yard attempt.
And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost. And with a little over a minute to play, they have taken the lead. Big kick right there to give them the lead in the fourth, but there is still time left for a final drive.
Did they score too soon? Post-game will tell us, right? Depending on what happens on this drive, that's how we'll analyze it. If the other team scores, they scored too soon. If they somehow hold on, they manage the clock exactly right.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play.
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Back to throw. Now a desperation throw deep down. He's got a man complete. It's a gain of 34. The big play has him all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Josh Allen in there to make the sack on what will be the final act in this ball game. Well, we saw a close game that kept us on the edge of our seats down to that final whistle. And right before that final whistle, defense with one last exclamation mark there, getting the sack to end it.
I love how you phrased it because we were waiting to see what would happen. Obviously, we thought something would happen downfield. Instead, it happens in the offensive backfield, and that's your ball game.
So for Jacksonville, their strong start to the year continues as they're up to 5-1, and they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Pittsburgh, they fall for the first time this season after 6 wins to start the campaign, and they'll look to regroup next week as they head down to Miami to take on the Dolphins. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Y'all already know what time it is, huh? Playing skills, you did, huh?
Playing skills.
Ice on the wrist, car on the wrist, hole in the wrist, watch out flip, watch out whip, I'm in the whip, hole in the wrist, I never switch, ice on the wrist, car on the wrist, hole in the wrist, watch out flip, watch out whip, I'm in the whip, hole in the wrist, I never switch, ice on the wrist, I get the money but I never switch. They say you switch it, you won't get it. You know they came from the bottom.